feeling that you get after something like that happens. There's a really uneasy burning that you get that's really shocking. And what's interesting about now is that that's a recurring thing that's happening over and over again. And it's different dealing with it personally, right? Where I can kind of go in my space and just kind of, cry, do whatever, right? And deal with that. But what's happening today with the killings over and over and over and over again, that fire keeps igniting, like nonstop, over and over and over and over again. And I think we really have an issue of PTSD from this stuff. Like, I'm really serious. Like, really, really serious. Because it's nonstop. It's no longer, I deal with it in my own little world. Maybe talk to a couple guys it's happened to. But it's literally everybody that watches a video, especially black men and black women. That fire ignites over and over and over. And what does that do to a person? Like, what does that do to his conscience? But after that, I wanted to be free of that stuff. So I did this painting. And this piece is called Seriously. So I started to look, and seriously with a question mark, but it's spelled S-I-R-I-U-S-L-Y. And I'll tell you why. I started to look at different cultures in history that essentially got this knowledge from the gods. They said the gods came down and gave this knowledge. This is the constellation Canis Major, and it possesses the brightest star in the sky, which is Sirius. This is where the Dogon culture says God came down and gave them the knowledge of constellations that they had before Europe, before people that were charting the constellations. And they had information that, essentially if you did not, you weren't tracking the sky in a certain way, you shouldn't be able to track. But people are intelligent, they can do things. So what I want to talk about is this idea of knowledge coming from the sky. And I wanted to have a black body, a black male body in that sky. And you can see right here, he has his middle finger up. Because oftentimes I'm interacting with the viewer, right? I'm saying, like, he doesn't want to show you the other side of himself, right? So whoever's looking at this is kind of like the sky and the space of this inspiration. And we're talking about, Afrofuturism. And I wanted to be in the clouds. I wanted to think about Egypt. I wanted to think about things beyond this world, right? And then I did this piece. And this is called Drifting in the Sea of Stars. And this piece is really interesting because it's about the Virgo constellation. And different cultures have done different things with the Virgo constellation. It's essentially where, you have the Virgin and she has kind of like a sheath of grass, and it's the star, I think it's like Picus, is that star right there. But it also represents the birth of Christ, like that symbol was kind of Christ. And I took inspiration from the Velázquez painting of Christ on the cross. And essentially the body is in that same way with that same loincloth. But at the same time, this is the position of slaves, how their body had to be positioned on a slave ship. So drifting in the Sea of Stars is she essentially could be floating on water, and that's a reflection of the sky. Or she can be kind of like a crucifix in that way. But I wanted to talk about her being like the mother of humans. Right? So then I came back down to the world after being in the stars, moving to New York, and the struggle in New York, and rent is crazy high. And this piece is called I Picked the World Up and It Dropped Me on My Fucking Head. So now I'm back to Earth, and I just point a lot of the killings that happened, and I just felt really vulnerable. But I always want to have a little element of hope, because I can't believe that things can be too bad that hopes and dreams can't, kind of generate something positive, right? So back here you see a black father and a son flying a kite. When I was little, me and my dad used to go to the park and fly kites all the time. So then, around this time, this is after grad school, so graduated from Yale, and I'm in New York, and I decide in my place that I have is just kind of small, that I wanted to do something. Didn't know what to do, but I wanted to do something. So I started working on paper because it's transportable, it's easier. So I started this series of women of color, friends that I knew. And the thing about this series is, what I wanted from them was to kind of possess themselves in a way that's not shown. You know, talk about their story. So I had this idea. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have them bring books that kind of challenge their body, challenge their ideas, challenge their beauty, things like that. And when you're working in a collaboration, especially when you're working with my friends, they would come with their own ideas. And they kind of, you know, they're gonna add their stuff, and that's what the collaboration is about. So they essentially came and sat for me over a period of time, and we worked for them. So I told them, you can wear whatever you want, pose however you want, bring whatever book you want. And essentially what I was doing was just representing that. But what ended up happening is they brought books that inspired them. So this is my friend Nina, she's an artist in New York. And this is James Baldwin. And this is the book that inspired her. So I didn't tell them how to pose. I didn't tell they could have wore whatever they wanted, they could have sat however they wanted, because I essentially wanted this to be a portrait by them through me. This is Nancy. She's been here in Detroit a couple times doing a couple of things, and these are her books. This is Lucia. She's also an artist, and that's a Clement Greenberg book down there. This is Iman, who went to Cass Tech from Detroit. She's out in Atlanta doing some really great stuff. She has a Nikki Giovanni book, and I don't know the other one, but I like the title though, Love is Power or something like that. This is Mary. She's a chef in New York. But these are really, really big drawings, like 63 by 34. They're really nice sized drawings. So then, from there, I went to Knox College, and I was there for 4 months, and I did a residency there, and I started this project. So I worked with a community that's called the Mothers and Sons Project. And what I wanted to do was talk about what was happening. Essentially what happens immediately after a black man gets killed is they go to the mother, right? And they go to her and show a video of her crying. You have the mourning mother. And I believe in the beginning, like maybe in the 80s, maybe early, they did it out of empathy. They wanted to show empathy for the other, right? So, but now it's become so overdone that it becomes like white noise. And I thought about the women in my family, like my grandmother, my mom, and how they would react to like me getting killed or my dad or my uncles getting killed. And I would think they would be angry. Like they would be sad, of course. They would probably shed some tears, but there would be some fierce anger happening. There would be some serious revolution going on. And I wanted to contrast the image of the mourning mothers holding images of their dead sons with the images of these mothers holding images of their sons that are alive. So I reached out to the Knox community, which is, interestingly enough, it's only 30,000 residents. It's a really small community in Illinois, and it's like 70% white. So I had a hard time getting a lot of black people involved. But so then I reached out to some of my family members. This is my sister right here, and this is my stepmom. So they sent in the photographs. This is also another collaboration. They sent in the photographs, and then from those photographs, I did drawings. And I hung their photographs and gave whoever took the photograph credit in the gallery. So I also wanted to bring the community inside, right? To show that there are artists all over the place, right? To give them an opportunity to show their work, right? Their photographs. So it was a really great thing. And then now you saw those copy pieces, get back to those copy pieces. In that series, I wanted to do paintings, and it's the same thing. And it's thinking about, again, the veil, right? So this is my grandmother, and this is called Queen Mother Helen Moore. And this is my dad, this is my Uncle Al, and and this is my Uncle Carl. And I did 3 of these pieces. I did this one, and this is G-Ma Don't Play. It's the title of this piece. This is her, my uncle getting married, and this is her and my Uncle Kenneth. And G-Ma really don't play, but everybody knows G-Ma. And then I did this piece. And I was thinking about, at the same time, I was thinking about those Egyptian encaustic portraits with the gold leaf around, right? This idea of adornment, and to represent something in a way where that person that's in that image is looking out at you. They know that you are looking at them because they are looking back at you, right? They have a self-possession of themselves that's not looked down upon, right? And then I did this piece. There's a concept by Dr. Joy Leary called PTSD, but not PTSD as we know it. It's called post-traumatic slave syndrome. And this piece is titled PTSD for a Lifetime, It Seems. And this is me. This is an old photograph of me that I painted this from. And the funny thing about the photograph is that it's me and my sister. And I'm sure she probably pinched me or something right before the photo was taken. We were like swimming or something, but she had to mess with me. That's why I'm looking like that. But I thought it worked really good for this painting. I did another painting that I'm not showing with this large white dog, and I consider this dog like this lying American icon because it's American pit bull. I mean, American bulldog, not a pit bull. And it's all white, but he's essentially kind of just lazily sitting there. And you see in the corner a drawing that the boy did. And it's a cop shooting a man. And in the background, you have liquor stores that are ever prevalent in Black communities and churches that are ever prevalent in Black communities. And then you have just people walking by. Because I think about what's happening today, and I think about a lot of times that people just ignore the issues. So they don't care what's happening to this boy. They don't care what's going on. And it's perpetual, right? So that's why this piece is called PTSD for a Lifetime, it seems. One concept of that, she explains, Dr. Joy Leary explains that why do Black mothers, when they have their kids going out, they say, come back over here, don't run away, don't go too far. Versus, let's see, like a white mom who allows their children to kind of run around freely and kind of observe and, experience life and things like that. And you ask him, he's like, you should get, I don't know, my mom did it to me. And then you think about that, you ask the grandmother, I don't know, because my mom did it to me. And you ask the great-grandma, I don't know, because my mom did it to me. You get all the way back. And you come to a situation where, kids were stolen and sold in slavery. So you have this perpetual thing. We all think that we just do things. We just be. Like that's, but there's a history behind those reasons, right? So this is a reception of that show at Knox College. And it brings me to my final slides. I'm almost done. I know y'all getting tired. Of the new pieces that I'm doing currently. So I'm having a show that everybody should come to in Grand Rapids, Michigan in November at the Urban Institute of Contemporary Art. This piece is called That Beautiful Color. And I wanted to kind of do a painting. I'm getting more interested in color and value shifts. Kind of thinking about a lot about Joseph Albers, about how subtle changes can happen, right? But essentially, this entire painting is painted with just a few different shades, except for the skin tone. But behind her is Eartha Kitt, and I'm gonna feel really bad about this, but a very important screenwriter and novelist who wrote a lot about passing. Black woman, can't remember her name right now, beat me up later. But yeah, this piece is called That Beautiful Color. And this piece is called White on Black. And it's really hard painting a photograph, but essentially got a couple sitting on a table, but